fact of enlightenment, then energy fact of enlightenment, joy fact of enlightenment. Today we are discussing tranquility fact of enlightenment. As I mentioned, all these happen in a sequence, in an order. When one develops, it leads to the development of the other. Like that, they all are connected. Tranquility factor, what you call mindfulness factor, is connected with the examination factor. It connects with the effort factor of enlightenment, and that connects with joy factor of enlightenment, which connects with tranquility factor of enlightenment. Tranquility has two kinds. One is bodily tranquility, other is mental tranquility. Bodily tranquility is called kaya passaddhi. Mental tranquility is called chitta passaddhi. The word passaddhi is used in Bojjhanga as passaddhi sambojjhanga. That means it is the combination of both physical tranquility and mental tranquility, kaya passaddhi and chitta passaddhi. Kaya passaddhi you learn in the mindfulness of the body. Mindfulness of the body. That is, in the fourth step, we hear Passam bhayam kaya sankarang asasissameti sikkati Passam bhayam kaya sankarang passasissameti sikkati. Tranquilizing the body, we breathe in. Tranquilizing the body, we breathe out. I mentioned there, tranquilizing doesn't mean we do something artificial to tranquilize the body. It is as we breathe in and out without hindrances, greed, hatred, sleepiness and drowsiness, restlessness and worry and doubt. Without these 5 hindrances, or having overcome these 5 hindrances, we pay attention to the breath. And the breath is called kaya sankhara. Breath is called kaya sankhara. As the hindrances are out of our way, mind stays on the breath, and breath becomes very calm, relaxed and peaceful. That state is called passaddhi. That state is called tranquility. Then what is a bodily tranquility? Tranquility of the breath. Tranquility of the breath. We don't do anything extra to tranquilize the body. It naturally happens as an outcome of getting rid of our hindrances and paying mindful attention to the breath. When we pay mindful attention to the breath exclusively, as hindrances are out of our way, the breath becomes very calm. That is called bodily tranquility. Then, in the mindfulness of feeling, or mindfulness of the mind, we see in the first section, we read, especially in Anapanasati Sutta, which is especially specialized in using the breath as the main object of meditation. In that we see Chitta Patisangvedi Assasissamiti Sikkati, Chitta Patisangvedi Passasissamiti Sikkati. Then Passambhayang Chitta Sankharang Assasissamiti Sikkati, Passambhayang Chitta Sankharang Passasissamiti Sikkati. That is, knowing the mental conditioner, we breathe in and out, and then mental conditioner is feeling and perception. Feeling and perception, we know very clearly, we perceive it very clearly, and paying attention to the breath, knowing the feeling, then it is called Chitta Sankhara Patisangvedi, knowing the mental conditioner. What are the mental conditioners? Feeling and perception. When we do that, that feeling becomes calm, relaxed and peaceful. Whether it is pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling or neutral feeling. We calm the mind, calm the feeling. How we calm the feeling? We just pay attention to the feeling without adding any detail. We simply become aware of the feeling. And then it is called Passambhayang Chitta Sankarang. Then the mental experiencing mental tranquility, we breathe in and breathe out. Experiencing mental tranquility. Therefore, mental tranquility is the tranquility, calmness, quiet, peaceful feeling and perception. Feeling and perception. These two are called Kaya, the tranquility of the breath is called Kaya Sanka, Kaya Passaddhi. Tranquility of feeling and perception is called Chitta Passaddhi. Kaya Passaddhi means tranquility of the body, meaning inhaling and exhaling. Chisapastadhi means tranquility of the mind, that is feeling and perception. Then this itself becomes one of the factors of enlightenment, both together, kaya, tranquility of the body, tranquility of the mind, that is tranquility of the breath, tranquility of feeling and perception together is called tranquility. So notice in this tranquility we breathe in and breathe out. So the discourse we see here, when the meditator knows these two factors are in him or her, that is, breath is tranquil, feeling and perceptions are tranquil, then the person knows the tranquility factor of enlightenment is in me. How the tranquility becomes a factor of enlightenment? In the enlightenment we have upasama sukha. Upasama means peace, tranquility. In the attainment of enlightenment, what we experience is peace and tranquility. And that is what we develop in our practice as a factor of enlightenment. It is called factor of enlightenment because this factor is in enlightenment. This factor is enlightenment. And this becomes even happiness called upasama sukha. In the Buddha's teaching, there is only one taste. Only one taste. Just like the ocean has only one taste. What is that taste? Taste of salt. No matter where we taste ocean water, in which sea, Indian Ocean, no Pacific Ocean, no Atlantic Ocean, no whatever. Ocean, if we take a drop of water from any of these oceans, it gives us only the taste of salt. Similarly, the Buddha's teaching has only one taste, that is called taste of peace. It is called upasama sukha. Upasama sukha. So we are developing that. It doesn't happen automatically, and this is the way of developing it. And therefore, there is another meditation object, one more meditation object. There are 40 meditation objects given in some sutras, including Visuddhimagga, and there are 44 meditation objects given in Anapanasati Sutta itself. Anyway, one of the meditation object is called reflections. Upasama anusati. Upasamanusati. There are 10 reflections of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, morality, generosity, divine being, and so forth. And one of the 10 of reflections is called Upasamanusati. Upasamanusati, that is focusing mind on tranquility. Where does that tranquility come from? And that tranquility comes from the factors of enlightenment, tranquility factor of enlightenment. Tranquility factor of enlightenment. So when the meditator knows the tranquility factor of enlightenment is in him, he knows I have the tranquility factor of enlightenment in me. That means he experiences enlightenment factor in himself or herself. If he or she does not have it, then he must go through the same procedure, same steps as I mentioned earlier, to get that fact of enlightenment. One has to be mindful, one has to investigation the Dhamma, one must make effort, and one must have joy. I mentioned how we become mindful, how we examine or investigate, how we arouse energy, and how we develop what you call joy. So one has to go through this and arouse this factor of enlightenment called enlightenment factor of tranquility. Once he knows that it is there, he continues, no problem. If it is not there, then one has to go through the steps and arouse them in him. That's the third stage. Fourth stage is once arisen this factor of enlightenment, then one must develop, cultivate, multiply the tranquility factor of enlightenment. Then he knows that this factor of enlightenment is developing in him or her, or developed. Now, in order to develop this, we have to repeat. Whenever we want to cultivate something, develop it, we go to repeat. When we repeat it, we can even isolate it and experience this tranquility factor. When we develop this tranquility factor, mind becomes even calmer than before. Mind becomes calmer than before. More peaceful, more calm, more relaxed. Then that is how one develops it. The two types of tranquility, physical tranquility and mental tranquility. Kaya passaddhi, citta passaddhi. In order to taste the peace of Buddha's teaching, that's called peace of Nibbana. When one practices this, you can see how many steps we have to follow by oneself. One has to follow all this by oneself with understanding. Now, every time you sit to meditate, you may experience a little bit of this, little bit of mindfulness, little bit of examination, a little bit of energy, little bit of joy, and little bit of tranquility. You have to look at them impartially without getting yourself involved in it. This is my mindfulness, this is my investigation, this is my effort, this is my joy, this is my tranquility. Without using I, my, mine. Just pay attention to your experience. If you forget to be mindful, then you might end up in getting even very proud. Getting even very proud. That means when you are mindful, if you are not practicing real mindfulness, then you might think that you are mindful and others are not mindful. So you praise yourself and look down upon others. You praise yourself and you become proud and look down upon others and don't respect them. Similarly, when you investigate Dhamma, you have to do it impartially. Just investigate just the Dhamma. For instance, when you listen to Dhamma delivered by the Buddha or his enlightened disciple, you got to think that this Dhamma is given to me. Buddha, as if he knows my mind, or this teacher, as if he knows my mind, teaches Dhamma to me. Teaches Dhamma to me, meaning teaches addressing the defilements that my mind has. He teaches Dhamma knowing my good qualities. He talks to me. Like that, you become investigate. You become investigate. Then you see, Buddha knows me, this venerable monk knows me, and I have my good, wonderful qualities. I must cultivate it. So you get encouraged. You become more, enthusiastic. You become very energetic to cultivate that factor of enlightenment you have, whatever it is. And then you make more effort. As you make more effort, then you can see you are delighted, full of joy. As I mentioned, there are many ways of arousing joy, seeing impermanence exactly as it is, joy arises in you. Then seeing the success, joy arises in you. Seeing everything in your aggregates in the past, present, future, internal, external, gross or subtle, far or near, all your aggregates are impermanent. There is nothing to hold on to. Then joy arises, effort arises in you. And when you listen to Dhamma, You see, this the teacher or the Buddha talk to you individually, personally. You must personalize the Dhamma. Take it to your heart. And ordinary talks, when they say point out a mistake, people add little anecdote. They say, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. But in the Dhamma, when you listen to Dhamma, you must take it personally. Because you are looking at yourself, you are trying to improve yourself, develop your fact of enlightenment, develop your fact of investigation of Dhamma, and so forth. You gradually, slowly come to the state of joy, which leads to tranquility. When tranquility fact of enlightenment arises in you in any of these ways, you should be very delightful every time you are awake to arouse that particular factor of enlightenment. That is what the Buddha said. When you know that it is within you, even a very tiny little, be glad and develop it, cultivate it, multiply, repeat and repeat and repeat. Then that repetition of the fact of enlightenment reach perfection. Therefore they are called some bodhi anga. Anga means limb. This is one limb that we all have to cultivate in order to taste the piece of Dhamma or piece Dhammas, the taste of Dhamma, Dhamma joy, upasama sukha, happiness of Dhamma. Happiness of Dhamma is tranquility. In order to attain that, we must cultivate these factors of enlightenment, even if the factor we notice in us is very tiny little, very tiny. But don't think that is negligible, that is insignificant, but you must know every drop builds up, adds to fill a pot. That is what we have to remember when we practice factors of enlightenment. Don't think of getting whole thing in one dose, one bucket full of the factors. They come slowly and slowly and slowly. So friends, this is a wonderful way of practicing the factors of enlightenment. Next week, tomorrow you can ask me questions. From now you think of questions and make the questions simple, short, and don't make big long essays out of these questions, and make it simple. I think, friends, that's all time I have today, and I want to end this with my regular wish, metta wish for all beings. May all who are in hospitals suffering from various diseases including COVID, may they recover very quickly and return to their normal, regular life and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. Those doctors, nurses, hospital staffs who are taking care of these people out of compassion, dedicating their life, sacrificing their comfort even risking their own life. They serve these people. May they continue their wonderful service and live long in very good health and practice Dhamma and attain total liberation from samsaric suffering. And may others who have lost their loved ones, who have been grieving, may they be free from grief and continue their Dhamma practice and liberate from samsaric suffering, never to have grief again. And everyone else, those who are generously supporting various projects to help the world in many ways, and all those who are in various troubled spots in the world, natural and humanly created suffering, may they all find peace, happiness, solace and comfort and liberate from samsaric suffering. With this, I want to end this little talk, and we will answer your questions tomorrow. Thank you.